For Wall Street Media, this is Mila. I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't find anywhere else.
That's right. We just went through a bunch of it, don't we?
Yeah.
Some of it we're going to share with you, and some of it we can't. But we're doing the Invest Northwest conference this week in Seattle. Lots of cool biotech CEOs. And as a special, the Wall Street Transcript magazine had a bunch of interviews that are tied into that.
Right, that's right.
And you have exclusive information from there, don't you?
I do. Yes, Doug, I do.
What do you have for us?
Well, we have David Nexon, who is the Senior EVP of the Advanced Medical Technology Association, and he talked to Twist about the upcoming Invest Northwest CEO and Investor Forum, which will be held in Seattle this week.
It's Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very soon. Nexon talked about how they have seen improvements in the FDA's medical device side in getting things approved. He spoke specifically about the passage of the user-free reauthorization, which will get products processed faster and allow for more early consultation with companies, which can help companies design trials that better satisfy the FDA.
I guess that probably refers specifically if they find the right factory.
Right.
Because 2 weeks ago, the drug that killed all the people,
oh my God.
The FDA, it turned out when they went to China, they inspected the wrong factory.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Oh, my God.
So I guess it's
so
good.
Tragic.
They're better. You know what it is? Is you have to take them by the hand and you have to say, no, over here, here's the factory. And then if you do that, then they're better. And then you've got a list of companies that were in Twist, right?
Yep.
Super.
And the companies that were in Twist, we had Chemokine Therapeutics, and their ticker is CHKT. The person who spoke with Twist was Walter Kors, who was the VP. We have Helix Biomedics, ticker HXBM, and Stephen Beatty, who was president and CEO, spoke with Twist.
Okay.
There's also Nasdaq Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, Nasdaq are cool. We webcast them a lot, right, guys? And Nasdaq, they're down 5% today. They're getting crushed recently, but they've been out here and we've been working with them quite a bit, And I'll be very interested to hear what they have to say. And I guess if I ask you nicely enough, maybe you come and tell people a highlight from what they have to say later this week?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah? Even if Tyler throws the ball? No.
I mean, I hope Tyler
Don't
doesn't
throw the ball, Tyler. We need Nasdaq highlights later, okay?
Unless you want me to have a black eye during the
it's very small.
webcast. Oh.
Okay. If I could find one here,
Minor damage.
You can throw it at him. Minor damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyhow, and are there any more? Do we have more of them?
Yes, there are a few more.
Oh, Seattle Genetics, too. We like them. We webcast those guys quite a bit.
Ticker symbol SGEN. And the person who spoke with Twist was Clay Siegel, who's president and CEO.
Now, let me tell you, you guys should look at Wall Street Transcript, and Amila and I, we're cool, hip insiders, so we call it Twist, right?
Yes, we know.
We do. We're in the know. But it's at twst.com, and this is a 45 or 46-year-old magazine, right? It's like 10 or 15 years older than I am.
Of course.
Yeah. You were a little slow on the draw there. But anyhow, in any event, their CEO interviews there, and it's incredibly valuable because you can actually hear what they're saying. They get asked questions directly rather than trying to guess between the lines, right? We've got an editor over there, and they ask a question, and then when they say, like, well, yeah, we think so, they follow up, and they say, well, what do you mean you think so? Do you think this is going to be approved in August, or do you think it's going to be November, or do you think it's going to be never, right? And I've made a lot of money over the years reading those interviews and trying to read between the lines and see, like, what this guy really means and do they really think this is going to be approved or not, Now, we've got also a bunch of companies that are going to be webcasting at Invest Northwest, and a lot of these are smaller biotechs, right? Some of them are known, like Seattle Genetics, we've known for a long time, right? And, they're down now today, and they've been down recently, but we've been working with them for a long time, and they're like a $600 or $700 million company. So they're not exactly like you would call tiny, right? But some of them are tiny companies, and it's a good chance to jump in now. If you like what they're saying and you listen to it, and maybe you read the Wall Street Transcript, do your own research, but a very good starting point, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who's going to webcast this week?
So the webcasting companies we have Dendreon, ticker DNDN.
Dendreon is our first one. You're never going to get a chance to talk, are you? Dendreon's our first one.
Yeah.
They have a drug, Provenge, for prostate cancer,
Okay.
which they did tests on, right? And this is why I was a little snooty with the FDA, right? Prostate cancer, I don't know if you know or not, right? It is a terminal disease. It's just a matter of whether it's a short time or a long time.
Yeah.
And most of the times it's not caught till a very late stage, right? And the drugs and treatments that they have now are horrible, the side effects, right? I mean, they're horrible.
Yes, I've heard of the side effects, yeah.
Okay. Now, these guys have Provenge from Dendreon, and it doesn't have any negative side effects.
Is it a new drug?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
How new is it?
Well, it wasn't approved by the FDA last year. Okay, now, it doesn't kill people, it doesn't do anything bad, and it doesn't have all these horrible side effects like the treatments they have now, and they think that from tests, it's not like they think like from a crystal ball, right? They think from their tests that it extends people's lives with this terminal disease by 4 months.
So why wouldn't they approve it?
That was my question.
But they approved that other drug that ended up being awful.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want to hear what Dendreon has to say, and we also like Dendreon. German Mike, you met German Mike.
Yes.
He's the mean one over there. But anyhow, he's the one who built the electric shock into the chair.
Very, very clever of you.
He's our resident evil genius. He owns some of their shares. And do you still own them, German? No, okay, he owns all 10 shares. Okay, not a whole lot. But you owned a pile, didn't you? Yeah, he owned a whole bunch of them. And we think that, I mean, I'm telling you, this is the case, right? Now, doesn't that sound like ridiculous that drug's not available?
Yeah, especially if it seems to have better results, like less side effects.
It's not killing you, right? It doesn't have any of these horrible side effects. So maybe you still take the others. I don't know enough about the medical parts of it, if you can still take all the other treatments.
Right.
But I got to tell you something. If I was diagnosed with this and they said, well, Doug, here you can have this, and this is definitely going to cause all these problems to you, right? And you're going to die at the end of it. And here, Doug, this is not going to cause any of these problems, and you might live 4 months longer. Remember we were talking earlier about 2 paths?
Right, right. I remember that conversation very well.
I'm telling you.
Path is less pain.
But what? I mean, like simple decision, right? Right?
It seems so obvious.
Yeah. Well, it is that obvious. It's just the FDA are making horrible decisions, but see, in the meantime, there are tens of thousands of Americans that are dying every year. Well, these guys are tied up in politics and jerking off. Is
the drug, does it have the ability to be approved in a different country? Or, what is...
Smart. See that?
How much of a role does the FDA play in the world?
None.
None? So it's just in the United States that people can't...
I don't know if it's been approved in another country. Do you know, Tyler? No. He can't reach high enough to click on anything to find out. Boy, you are a smarty. You told me you were. I just have to see it and let
I would never say that.
Yes, you did. We had an hour first of Doug. I know everything in the entire world. You could just sit back and play the fiddle from now on. That
was not it.
That was not it. She's very nice. But in any event, and I'm just dabbling. That's brilliant thinking. And do you know what? Why don't you look it up after the show and let us know tomorrow?
I'm actually very curious now.
So am I. But I'm a little slow here, so it's going to take me a little while to look that up. Why don't you? And then report back tomorrow.
Sure.
I don't know. Let's take a look and see when they webcast. Guys, you can watch all the webcasts at wsw.com/webcast/IN and then the number 6, and it starts tomorrow at 11:20 a.m. And Mill will be back. She'll have some highlights for you, and you can report back, also on what you find with it. Boy, that's really good thinking. Super well done, kiddo. Who else is going to be there?
We also have Targeted Genetics,
okay,
ticker TGEN.
And we work with them often, too, and have for a while. Now, see, these guys, right, now this is, God bless them and everything, but they're at a $14.8 million market cap, right? and they're down today, but everybody's running and afraid. And gosh, I hate to see the small investors that are in these companies get afraid today just because the market's down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then these companies are good companies, and if they come out with something, right, you're really going to be sorry later. When these guys get back up within the past year, you can see that they've been between 46 cents and $5.50 a share, right?
Yeah.
If you pick them up today at 75 cents a share, and tomorrow or the next day when they're at Invest Northwest presenting, they say, oh, and by the way, we figured out how to cure cancer.
Yeah, I think that would definitely make the price jump up.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Why don't we wrap up? And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about who else is going to be at Invest Northwest.
Okay, great.
Super impressive with the worldwide idea. Thanks so much. That was awesome.
Of course.
That was great.
Just being curious.
Wonderful.
We are here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at WSMCO.com. Thanks.